Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to a brand new video. So I'm actually refilming this intro way past the month. This video is going to be a Nanowrimo vlog which happened in July. I am here in mid-August to talk you through this vlog and what happened with it. I'm gonna just be calling it a writing vlog, but as you'll see throughout the vlog, I am attempting to do the 50,000 words NaNoWriMo challenge for my book. But I stopped halfway through the month when my gran passed away, and I do mention that in the vlog, so trigger warning for that. After that point, halfway through the month, I could no longer write a book about death and murder. And ghosts, I just didn't feel I could process it at the time. I tried to carry on and I just couldn't. So I did end this vlog completely just like done. Like I just stopped and I wasn't going to upload it, but also it was my first ever writing vlog and I don't know, I just kind of like some of the clips I got, and so I think I'm gonna upload it anyway. But just understand this is a failed attempt at NaNoWriMo. I stopped halfway through the month because of that reason. I did actually continue writing, but I didn't word count it, and I didn't write about the horror scenes either. I just found it too difficult. You're just gonna see the first half of the month of me competing NaNoWriMo, some fun writing b-roll, and yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy the video nonetheless. And thank you so much for being here for my first writing vlog. If you want to see more of these, let me know. Okay, so it is the 8th. I have not been writing at all recently. I'm so sorry. I've been sick. There was a family emergency. There was my sister's prom and I went home for the night, so I didn't get any writing done then. A whole load of things. So I've barely been writing, so I'm way behind. I think I'm supposed to be at 12,000 words and I'm at, let me deduct my original word count, 7,500 now. I've written 1,500 today. Kind of getting to the end of my notes for this beginning section of the book. I'm really struggling with the pacing. I think I'm doing things too fast because about this word count, I think if we think about a book being double spaced, it's only about 40 pages and already like she's like fully worked out that the house is haunted and stuff and seen a ghost and all those kind of things. But I don't want to like make the beginning too long and drawn out either, because that's not the intention, and there's a lot to work out in the mystery that's within the book, and also a lot more creepy scenes that I have planned out. So yeah, it's just about trying to find that balance, especially with it being a cozy horror. I feel like I'm need to like make sure I leave enough time to get the cozy in. But yeah, right now it is a first draft. It's going to change so much by the end when I finish this book, and I just need to remember that this month, this NaNoWriMo is literally about just getting words on a page and getting like the tiny outline of a story written down. I'm really happy with how it's going. I think I just really struggle with, I want to describe the house in detail. Like I love haunted houses. I love old houses, you know, like I feel like I'm at like, you know, National Trust houses. I just love walking around them. And so I feel like I'm being way too descriptive of the house, which is not what people are here for. So I think there's going to be a lot of cutting out of that in the future. But I'm also trying to remind myself, just write. It doesn't matter. Whatever you don't do correctly now, you can fix, just write. So yeah, I'm going to continue writing today. I'm at 1,500 words for the day, or to be exact, 1,400 and something words for the day. I'd like to hit 2,000 words for today because that would get me closer to catching up to where I'm supposed to be. It's not going so well. But yeah, I feel like I've gotten through a scene that was kind of not hard for me because I knew what I wanted to write. It was really tense and I felt like I was losing the tension a lot. So again, it's something I can go back to in the future, but I feel like I got a bit more tension in there now because I changed her perspective on it and I like this more. But yeah, I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna continue writing and I'll update you on what the end word count for the day is. Okay, so I just finished my chapter 6, which is what I started with today. So I have written a whole chapter and I've hit 12,241. So I've written 2,200 words today. Today was a really solid writing day. I only had to write a minimum of 1,600 words, so to have written 2,200 is some good progress. I feel like I could continue writing, but I also feel like I've really tired myself out and I got cramp in my hands and they keep like shaking. So I think I'm gonna stop. If the motivation takes me again later, I will continue to write, but for now I'm just gonna leave it. So yeah, that is the 8th of July. So technically day 8, but it's only the 3rd day that I've written, thanks to my busy week. So yeah, to have written 7,241 words in 3 days, technically, is pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's just a shame that I've been so busy at the beginning of this month, because now it's going to take like a lot of catch up to keep up. But I'm really happy with what I've written today. I do struggle a lot with dialogue, and luckily a lot of this book is set very isolated. It's just her in the house. But whenever dialogue does come into it, which it did at the end of this chapter, I'm not good at it. I need to work on it, and I don't know how, but I just need to do something. So I will definitely have to come back and rewrite this scene at some time, just the dialogue scene. But for now, I'm just glad to have it written on the page and be able to continue with the story, because it's better than just leaving it blank. But yeah, I definitely need to work on my dialogue. It is the next day. It is the 9th day of Camp Nanowrimo, and it's 9:10 at night. I've done absolutely no word count for today in regards to actual writing down. However, I don't even know how to show you, but on the floor right now, let me pick them all up. I have sat and I have plotted out, number one, the chapters I've already written and like the changes I need to make to those. And I have written down all the problems I have with my current draft that I will need to go back and fix issues to. Oh, you can't even see me. That's good, isn't it? But I've also plotted out all the way up to chapter 13, which I'm currently on chapter 5. Like, I've just finished chapter 5. So I have the next 6 chapters completely plotted out, every detail on there. Again, I've changed a couple of the issues I realised I had. I bought these this morning, so it's actually really helpful, because as much as I love having everything written down digitally, I really like the idea of having it all written down so that I can like consult it easily. I also have an entire timeline on here of all the events, and I found like one chunk of the story that I really need to fill that's really lacking, and it's basically between the first reveal and then kind of like the really big drama at the end. I've got some of the ideas of what I want to happen, but that's going to need to be bulked up quite a lot. So I need to sit and really plan that out. But for right now, I'm just really happy to have all of my next like 6 chapters really well outlined, really well planned and plotted. It's going to be so easy to write them now because I have nothing to actually think about. Even though I'm not going to be writing tonight, it feels like a successful day. Like, I'm really happy. I've literally been writing for hours, these cards. Is it clear that I have not even brushed my hair this morning? I literally woke up and just was like, I'm writing right now. I've got sprints on. Who is doing these sprints? SD Houston. I'm doing some sprints. I just wrote 579 words. I say I did 579 words. The problem is I keep going back and editing things. So actually, I don't know what my daily word count is. But there's 579 new words on this script. Let me just mute this because I don't know if you can hear or not. But I've just found out something very terrifying. It says on my Nanowrimo dashboard, at this rate, you'll be done on September the 8th. That's not the goal. The goal is to be finished July 31st or the 1st. July 30th or July 31st? How many days is in this month? I don't know. This is not good. Not good at all. I better buck up my ideas. And now, it used to say I needed to write 1,600 words a day. I now need to write 2,000 words a day because I'm that far behind. I should be at 17,000 words, 17,742, and I'm at 7,000. I have had like a serious reality check. I need to leave. I need to go continue writing. use the pile of clothes. I'm in the middle of doing laundry and I don't know if you can hear the rain on the window, but it's like really heavy raining today. I wanted to do like a sit down check-in because it's the 15th of July today, meaning we are halfway through Nanowrimo. So I thought like now's the perfect time to do a check-in with you, because obviously, as you know, since the beginning I have been really behind on my word count. But yesterday I had the most productive day. I did film some clips you've probably seen, but we drove to this place. If you're in South Wales, it's called Keeper's Pond. It's in Blaenavon. And it's just like on the top of a mountain is this lake, and it was this really rainy day, so we decided to drive up there and just look out at the lake. You can walk around, but you wouldn't in that kind of weather. It'd be very dangerous. Oh my god, the weather is amazing right now. But we decided to go up there and like kind of get some atmosphere for my writing. So I did that, and I actually ended up writing yesterday 9,500 and I think 46 words, taking me up to a total of 19,900, and I was literally just like 20 something words short of 20k, which is great because as of yesterday I was supposed to be at 22,000. So I caught up really well by having an almost 10k day, and I'm really happy with that. And my plan was to then stick with my daily count, which obviously would have diminished a lot by now. We have a little bit of an issue, and that is that my gran passed away this morning. And so naturally I don't feel like writing, and I especially don't feel like writing a book about ghosts and death, the family and stuff like that. Obviously that is very terrible timing. Gran, how could you? She was my great grandmother, so she was very elderly, and you know, we were expecting it, but it still was a little bit hard. I know this is going to be a little bit of a hurdle, but I don't want this to stop me completing NaNoWriMo, so I'm taking today. I don't think I'll write today. My plan was to write a lot today because it's Saturday and I didn't have much to do. But I think, honestly, tonight I'm going to spend the evening just playing cozy games and relaxing today. Which I'm like, part of me is disappointed in myself because I'm like, I really wanted to get to 25k today, which would be writing 6,000 words or 5,500, whatever, to get to the midway point on the midway day. But at the same time, your mental health comes first, and when you've lost someone you're close to, it's good to take a step back and like evaluate what's important. Last night I creeped myself right out, actually. I was sat writing this scene. There was this scene when I first came up with my book idea. There was this scene that came to my head, and it's the whole reason I wrote this book. And everything about this book has kind of been catered around this one spooky scene that is not a heavy plot point scene. It's just more of an aesthetic scene about this ghost, and it's really creepy. And I kind of want it to be midway through my book, which if my book ends up being 75,000 words, which is, I'm aiming for 75 to 85,000 words at the end. So like end of like second, third, fourth draft, not at the end of this draft. It's fine if I don't need it now. But I want that to kind of be the midway point where the scary stuff really happens. Like I'm making it a little bit more gruesome than all the creepy things that have currently happened so far. So I wrote that last night. So I'm officially halfway through my timeline of my story. Nowhere near halfway through the word count. So obviously in draft 2, that is going to be a massive thing I need to work on, the beginning. But I knew that already. I am a heavy underwriter. Which I actually like being, because I would hate to overwrite and then have to cut words that I spent a long time on. I think that would break my heart. So I'm much happier being an underwriter and then having space to work on things in a second draft when I need to put in like foreshadowing for things I've changed, all that kind of stuff. Because I've put in a bit of foreshadowing now, but nothing like compared to what I want there to be, because I do want the story to be not easy to guess, but guessable, because I hate when I read a thriller and the plot twist is like, well, you never would have gotten that. I want you to be able to get it, and especially if you reread the book, I would really want you to be able to be like, oh my god, I know what that means now. So it's important to me that a second draft, I feel like all those things are going to come in the second draft. So yeah, so basically I'm halfway through the timeline of my story, and It was really exciting to write that scene last night, but I was crapping my pants and I didn't sleep a lot of the night. You probably can see it under my eyes, even though I have loads of concealer on. I just kept looking, like I was talking about basically like ghosts and attacking her and hands and figures in the corner of a room. Like, it was quite a creepy scene. I was sitting and you're like, oh my god, is there someone in the corner of my room? And is there someone watching me from outside? I was really freaking out. So I'm really not equipped to write horror, because the amount of sleep I've lost while writing this book is actually laughable. But yeah, I had a really good time writing that scene last night. I was really nervous that when it came to that scene, I wouldn't be able to write it well enough that came up in my head. And I'm not saying it's well written. I mean, the whole of my first draft is terribly written, but I'm fine with that. Like, all it is about getting the story on the page. But I actually love that chapter for the things that happens in it and the way that I think the tension's built. I think it's well paced. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. And I'm glad I get to talk to you about it and have someone to gush with over it. Obviously, I wish I could give more info, but I don't really want to go like telling you the whole plot of my story. But yeah, it is a ghost scene. And the turning point of a realization for our main character, Tara, realizing that she didn't know everything she thought she knew. So I'm really excited to carry on writing, and I was really excited to carry on today. And if today I decide, oh wait, maybe I do want to write a little bit, I will. That's fine. But when my granddad passed away, I started writing a little book just for me, and it was called Dear Granddad. But it wasn't about my granddad, it was actually about some random granddad and a random grandchild. But in it, I kind of put all my personal experiences with all of my grandparents, including my gran. And I think maybe I'll, like, if I decide to write tonight, maybe I'll just go back to that and carry on writing, because it was a really good tool to help grieve. So maybe I'll go and do some more of that. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought I'd fill you in on that scenario because this is a Camp Nanowrimo vlog, including all the hurdles that come with writing 50k words in a month. This is one of my hurdles. I just really wanted to talk to you guys about my story. Look at the fact my sheet doesn't come low enough on my mattress because I have a mattress protector. Great. The whole thing I filmed like that. Great. Anyway, yeah, so that's my update. Hopefully I'll feel in the mood to write tonight, but maybe not. But anyway, I won't pressure myself. We will see. And I will get back to writing tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. But here's my midpoint check-in. I hope that you guys are doing well if you are taking part in Camp Nanowrimo. Obviously, I know we'll have finished Camp Nanowrimo by the time you watch this video, because this is a whole month-long vlog. But if you are like halfway through right now, leave me a comment telling me how far you got by halfway through the month. Like, were you behind? Were you ahead of schedule? Let me know. And then at the end of the video, you can let me know if you actually, like, how many words you wrote, if you actually got to 50k or whatever your goal was, because I know we got to set our own goals this time. I just chose 50k because that's how many words I needed to write. I have my little Victorian ASMR on. I have my stitched cup full of squash. I have the world's most embarrassing mouse mat from when I was 13. I have my my actual manuscript out. I'm on chapter 12 and I have my cards. So I'm trying my best here. It is the 16th of July, so we are on the next day since I spoke to you yesterday. I'm not motivated to write today. I don't want to write today at all. But I am trying to force myself because I know it's not going to get any easier through the rest of the month. I have a really busy week at the end of the month. As of the 24th of this month, it's going to become a little bit chaotic because I'm looking after my grandmother. Different grandmother, obviously. So I know I'm going to be really, really busy and I want to get as much done as I possibly can now. I have written today chapter 11. That won't be chapter 11 in the final book. But for the most basic small manuscript, I've written to chapter 11. And I've wrote 1,745 pages for that. I'm now working on chapter 12, which I've already written 424 pages of. But I've hit a wall. I've been sat here staring at this screen for 5 hours. And only written 2,000 words because I've spent most of it, as I said, staring at it. I am at the midway point. I have my little timeline here, and I've hit the midway point, and I know what happens at the end. I know, well, not just the end, but I know like the end third, and I know everything that's going to happen. But trying to fill that time with things that happen without making it filler, because I really don't want this book to feel like it has unnecessary parts in it. I want everything to be for a reason, whether that be development of characters or foreshadowing. Like, I just really want it to all be important, because I'm trying to take all of the feedback I give books. There's a lot of things I hate in books. I don't want any of that in my book, obviously. So I'm trying to be really, really careful about it. But I am definitely hitting a wall now at mid-chapter 12. I have one more thing that I know I want to write for this chapter, but I don't know how to get to it in a natural, fluid motion. And then after this chapter, I have nothing planned on revision cards again until the end, or until the end third. So I think today there's going to be a lot more planning to be done. We are at a total of 22,098 words, so that's great. I just really don't know what to do now that I've hit this wall. I don't know whether to take the rest of the day to plan, or kind of do like a just write what I know I want to put in yet. I don't really like doing it that way. I'm very much a chronological writer. I get a little bit confused when I move stuff around and jump from place to place. I already know in draft 2 that there's 2 chapters I want to switch, which means that's going to take a lot of work. But I think it'll do a lot for the progression of the story naturally, and I think it'll make a lot more sense that way. So I'm kind of hyper-focused on the fact that there's changes to be made rather than progressing forward. And I have a rule that we're only going forward, we're not going backwards. Other than like minor changes, just that I don't forget them in the future and then end up having, you know, discrepancies in the story. So yeah, that is where I'm at today. That is my update. I don't know what my end word count will be, but I have got, as I showed you, my ASMR, my squash, my coffee. Well, actually, I finished my coffee, so I'm going to need another coffee. And yeah, I'm working on this right now. But I think it's the first time I've hit a severe wall. I hit a wall the other day, kind of, and planning out all those revision cards really, really helped. But I'm at a point now where I don't even know what to put in the revision cards. Like, I'm really at that hard point. Which makes sense. I feel like the midway point is that point where you've done a lot of developing, so there's no more developing that needs to be done for the backstory and the world building, but you're not at that point where the end drama starts with all the twists. We've had the first major twist now. She knows something she didn't know before, and we didn't know, so there's been a revelation. And now where do we go from here? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm going to say I'm imagining quite a few more hours. I can see myself being here all night, trying to work this out. But hopefully by the end of the day I'll work it out. Plus my back is killing. I need to get a proper chair. I have one of those stupid IKEA clear chairs. Not comfortable. Today is one of those days where anxiety and grief has gotten the best of me. And I'm upset about it. It is 5:30 in the evening. At lunchtime I tried to write. I started trying to write. I decided, by the way, I don't know if I told you, to just jump to the bits that I knew I wanted to write. So mainly the ending. Like, I think I'm going to write out the ending, see how that flows, and then work my way back, which I hate the idea of doing. But I also feel like that's the bit I know how I want it to go, and that could shape a lot of my story. So I'm actually okay with it. But the problem is, I just can't get words to page right now, even though I know exactly what I want, and the story in my head is playing like a movie perfectly. My entire body is just like, no. My mind is like, no. I've deliberated like talking about this in my blog because I don't want to trigger anyone, but like, I'm sure a lot of us suffer with anxiety, and I think it's also really nice to see other people being real with their anxieties. And I just feel like this is not my week at all. Like, it is really not my week. As we know, did not start very well. But then I had to send my phone away for replacement because my phone is broken. And it's like under warranty. I didn't break it. It's just a faulty phone. So I've had to send my phone off, which I know sounds so trivial. And I'm not really like I used to be as a teenager. Like, I don't desperately need my phone in my hands. But I've been amazed at how much anxiety it has on me knowing that my phone is in the post, like it could go missing. My printer's packed in on me, and anyone watching this knows that I do Etsy. and I get a lot of orders every day. Like, I can't go a day or two without my printer working. Luckily, I pay a lot of money for warranty on that. I really do, because it's an expensive printer, so it shouldn't be a problem. I shouldn't even get it fixed. It should be an instant replacement. I just need to go and do it, and anxiety is crippling me. I don't really know if this has place in a writing vlog. Does it really have place on the internet? No. But again, it is impacting my writing, and so I want to tell you about it because it's real. And anyone else doing Camp Nanowrimo probably experienced a moment of like this, I can't write anymore, and probably laid in bed just like me, stressed out of their minds. So yeah, I think, considering I've written 100 pages, wow, stunning 100 pages, I'm going to take a break to read a book to inspire me. I'm going to read episode 13, because this is the book that everybody's been kind of talking about, and I don't know much about it. I know it's about like set at a place where they used to do human testing. So that sounds really, really dark, very different to my story, but I want to just get the creepy energy, because last night I was in here in the dark at my desk. My desk over there, I like reset it all up so that it was all like creepy and spooky, and I did like a little collage on the wall of photos. I don't think you can see that. No. And yeah, I basically like played creepy music and I sat there in the dark, and it was brilliant. I got 2,000 words written. But some days like today, it just doesn't flow, and that's okay. So I'm still going to try tonight to write some more, but I think I'm going to try and get in the mood a bit by reading a scary book, embracing the anxiety. Like, I've had to do a lot of stuff I don't want to do. I've got a lot of health anxiety right now, where realistically I know nothing is wrong, or I shouldn't say I know nothing's wrong. Nothing has happened to make me think I'm ill or anything. But if anybody has health anxiety, I think loss can trigger it sometimes, and I have become a bit over the top with my vitamins and my eating and my worries. Like, I keep having these fears that I've got all these things wrong with me, and I suffer with PCOS, which I know a lot of women do, and nobody really talks about it. And that, I'm like so worried about all that, like all of a sudden out of nowhere. So I've just been overwhelmed today. It's just not my day, and that's okay. Like, we can still embrace an anxiety inducing day and accept that it's not our day. We're not going to get many words written today, but do what we can and embrace what you can and sleep in your bed. Do what you got to do. I am doing what I have to do, and that involves lying down to film an update on YouTube in my bed. The things I put on the internet, I tell you, truly. Anyway, I just really wanted to film this and show the realities. So I'm now going to read my book. I'm going to drink my strawberry, what have I got? A strawberry cucumber biotin peppermint green tea. It's the Twinings super, what is it called? Twinings supernatural. I don't know. One of those like good for you teas. I'm drinking a lot of those at the moment because of the health anxiety. If you're having an anxiety inducing day, I'm really sorry. Take some time to yourself, and yeah, I hope you feel better soon. I hope my next update is me saying I've written 4,000 words. I doubt it though.